Yo, what's good, guys? Okay, I have a joke for you guys, alright? How do I say this? What do you call the youngest MVP and a Toronto Raptors legend together? DeMar DeRozan. Get it? D-Rose, Derrick Rose. Anyways, how y'all doing? Hope you guys are having a good day. So today's video, I'm going to just simply be talking about basketball in general and everything that's been going on. Today, while I'm recording this, is what day is it actually? It's Friday. Okay, good. I need to know my dates. I'm tripping for a minute. So because it's Friday, that means the NBA preseason is starting tonight, and I'm so excited. Like, we haven't seen some of these teams play in forever, and even though I know that preseason the stars don't always come out right, and it's more of the younger guys or the vets getting more PT. It's still really cool to see people play, and in general, it's just basketball. So I'm really hyped about that. A lot of stuff's been going on. So first off, I'm gonna hit with the Rockets as a franchise. As we all know by now, Russell Westbrook got traded for John Wall and a pick, right? Yeah, it was like some kind of protected pick. So Russell Westbrook's in Washington and John Wall is in Houston. I will be honest, I did not like that trade at all. I'm sorry, I just didn't. I have a lot of confidence and faith in John Wall. You know, the first year that John Wall got injured was the year I became a basketball fan. So that was the 2018-19 season. And I didn't know much about him. And I was kind of like, haha, you got hurt, get wrecked. Because at that point, I didn't know anybody from the NBA. I just knew the Hornets. And so I was just like, well, if you're against the Hornets, unless your name is LeBron James, I don't like you. And so, but then I started watching John Wall's highlights. And I mean, as a runner myself, I was like, man, this dude is so inspirational. Like, he uses his speed to drive and finish. And he's just super fast. He's smart, he's athletic, and he passes the ball a lot. And I love to pass the ball myself. That's what I do, right? And so I started liking John Wall. But when I heard that him and Bradley Beal were excited to play together, that sounded really fun. And that's just a hometown team. You know, like the Wizards, John Wall and Bradley Beal, they aren't like superstars, right? Like Kevin Durant, LeBron James. Like, they're not big name media guys, right? You can say Bradley Beal's the same level as like Kemba Walker, right? They're both stars, right? Don't get me wrong, they're stars, but they're not like media stars, basically. That's what I'm trying to get at. But John Wall and Bradley Beal together, I just thought that was such a cool culture that Washington had, and it was just really sad to see John Wall go. I'm not even a Wizards fan. I'm also worried for John Wall now, because if he's on the court with James Harden, who, by the way, where is James Harden, right? He just arrived to training camp, but he clearly wants out, and he either wants to go to Philly, Brooklyn, Miami, or Milwaukee, and I'm sure there's more teams. I think he just wants to get up out of there, man. But yeah, John Wall and James Harden, I don't think would coexist well. I really don't, and I'm excited for the Rockets, because that's the other thing. Boogie is in Houston. I'm really excited to watch DeMarcus Cousins play again, because boy, he has not played in a while. And I have faith in Boogie. I don't think he'll be as fast as he was, just because of how much his body has gone through. But I did see images recently of him being a lot more thinner, which is cool. That means he's lost some weight, and hopefully that'll help him not get injured as much as well. Shout out to Mike Korzemba, by the way, because that was a sick video. I appreciated that information. Boogie's looking good, and that's great to hear as an NBA fan. And I'm guessing for Houston fans, y'all are going through some crap right now, but at least y'all can look forward to the John Wall Boogie reunion. And do they play tonight? Yeah, they play tonight, I think. Yeah. I will almost definitely be trying to watch that if possible, because boy, do I want to see John Wall back on the court. But anyways, yeah, I don't think John Wall and James Harden would coexist well, just because they both assist, and they both like to pass the ball. But it's so weird, because James Harden, if you look at his stats, you're like, oh my goodness, he's averaging like 9 assists a game. He really likes to pass the ball to other people, but his usage rate is off the charts. And so I just don't think that would work well for John Wall. And I wouldn't want that for him. Excuse me. All right. So what's next? What do we want to talk about next? First off, yeah. So Houston fans, we got your back. Just keep grinding and trust the process. You think you have it tough? Be a Hornets fan, bro. Be a Hornets fan, man. We haven't won anything. Well, Houston's won. Y'all have won championships. You've had Hakeem Olajuwon, T-Mac, Yao Ming, James Harden. So keep grinding, and y'all be good. What do I want to talk about next? Oh, yeah. The Nets. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited for the Nets, man. I really wish they were playing tonight because I am so hyped to watch Kevin Durant on the floor again. Kevin Durant. I really like Kevin Durant. Like, I've always been a fan of Kevin Durant. I didn't like that he went to the Warriors. I remember, well, that was before I even became a NBA fan myself. I remember hearing that Kevin Durant signed with the Warriors, and I was like, I don't like the Warriors because I like LeBron, but this guy's kind of cool. And so for the longest time that I didn't like Steph Curry because he was on the Warriors, I like Kevin Durant. And he's just so, I just respect his shot. He can find any way to score. And I love how efficient he is. Like the time where, like, 2 years in a row in the finals, he shot in the exact same spot on the court and won games. Like, with LeBron guarding him. Like, the deja vu moments. Insane. Now, as a LeBron fan watching that, or at least hearing about it, that was an L. But thinking about it now, dude, savage. That is crazy. And hitting that over LeBron, that's almost like, if you want to make a comparison, think about, like, who would I compare that to? I'm trying to make an MJ comparison. Like, imagine who is a small forward, or you could say shooting guard. I don't know. Not off the top of my head. Larry. Imagine Larry Bird hitting something over Michael Jordan. That's not a great comparison. But anyways, yeah, that was just crazy. It was cool to think about and just see Kevin Durant be such an awesome player, right? Teammate, it started going downhill towards the end of Golden State, but he's definitely an excellent player. Like, honestly, my top 15 players of all time, for sure. He's probably like 14th or 15th, but still, nonetheless, he makes that list. But him and Kyrie Irving, I think that is going to work super well. Kevin Durant said in an interview recently that he's planning on possibly playing the small ball 5, which is insane, but I think he could do it. I really think he could do it just because it's Kevin Durant, right? Now, granted, that's not going to be a lot of defense, but pick your poison, you know? I think that'd be pretty fun. But poor DeAndre Jordan. Man, if they're going to be playing Kevin Durant at the 5 sometimes, then you're obviously still playing Jarrett Allen. But then you just have DeAndre Jordan on a decently big contract just chilling. That is rough. I will be honest. That is rough. I don't know what the Nets were thinking about signing DeAndre Jordan to that contract, but whatever, man. But yeah, I think the Nets are going to be fun. Thank goodness James Harden's not going there. And I'm going to go ahead and say that because if he does go there, it's either going to be for Kyrie or KD. And I could be wrong. Who knows? Maybe they trade Dinwiddie, LeVert, a bunch of picks, and make that trade. But I don't think so. And that's kind of reminiscent of that trade that the Nets made with the Celtics for old Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce. And James Harden's old. Like, he's not he's not old, but he's no. I don't know. That could work out really bad. And then if you give up a lot for James Harden, yeah, you know. So yeah, that's Brooklyn. Brooklyn's looking fun. Clippers re-signed Paul George to a max extension, and I am not surprised anymore. Clippers, bro, change your franchise, bro. Change your franchise. You are a disgrace to the basketball community. Like, the whole Clippers franchise is a pure disgrace, right? You can say, oh, well, you're a Hornets fan. Yeah, but at least we have good culture in North Carolina, right? UNC, the Hornets, I mean, they just haven't had a chance because they're a small market. You are in LA. It doesn't get much bigger than LA. New York, yeah, the Knicks aren't doing much better either. But I mean, the Knicks, though, they have good history. They have good vibes, right? They can't win the draft lottery to save their life, but I mean, they have good vibes. ULA, like, y'all should be the Supersonics. Let's be real, right? If the Supersonics existed, I've already promised my entire family I'd be a Sonics fan. Like, I would... if I had to choose between Philadelphia being a Philly fan and being a Sonics fan, I'd be a Sonics fan. For sure. I love the colors. I love the jerseys. Every time I see Kevin Durant in a Sonics jersey, my eyes grow this wide. But, no. But, yeah. I'd like to see the Supersonics back. And I take every video to just criticize the Clippers just because it helps me vent. And you're signing Paul George to a max extension. Now, let's be real. I'm not a Paul George hater, like an extreme one, because I feel like what was going on in the playoffs was either A, fluke, or B, the curse of the Clippers franchise. You know what? This whole curse of the Clippers franchise might just be for revenue. I wouldn't be surprised if that franchise intentionally messed things up in the fourth quarter and let the Nuggets win just so people could talk about it forever and then get money off of it. How would they get money? I don't really know, but I would not be surprised if it's just all for fun now, because everything they have done has just been mess up after mess up after mess up. And Paul George just said what Blake Griffin said. He's like, I want to retire with the franchise. Well, he just got his extension. Will he get traded? I don't know. I don't know why he would sign Paul George to a max extension, but I mean, I think he could definitely come back to his MVP form. Oh, jeez. Sorry. I definitely think he can come back to his MVP form. It's just going to take some work. And he cannot panic. He can't choke. You know who Paul George actually reminded me of? He reminded me of T-Mac. Yeah, T-Mac's that guy who's really good in the regular season, right? He's like a beast, and he's a good player. But when it comes down to the playoffs, he chokes and messes up. And the whole playoff run last year for the Clippers, if you even call it a run, was reminiscent of that. For Paul George, at least. But now he came out saying he's locked in. He's been watching Kobe clips. Because, I mean, everybody watches Kobe clips these days, am I right? So who knows? Maybe he can be back. Maybe not. I just feel bad for Kawhi Leonard, man. I do, but I don't. Because, boy, is his reputation stained now that he blew a 3-1. Boy, is it stained, man. Okay, up next. I'm going to talk about one more thing. What should I talk about? There's just so much stuff to talk about. The Hawks. I'm going to talk about the Hawks. Okay. Call me crazy, but I think that the Hawks are overrated. Yeah, I know. I said it. I know. But I think they're overrated. I really think they are. First off, congrats to all the free agents they signed. You know, that's awesome. You got an old Rajon Rondo. You got an old Gallinari. You got Bogdanovich, which honestly was a steal. I'll keep it real. Who else did the Hawks get? I think they got a bigger name. I think. Oh, you got Chris Dunn. Congrats. Led the league in steals. I mean, I just don't know. You have Clint Capella. I just don't know. There's a vibe about that team that just makes me think that they're being hyped up too much. I would not be surprised if they end up being the 9 seed. Ugh. I would not be surprised if they end up being the 9 seed. I'll keep it real. Or the 10 seed even. The East, I can't believe I'm saying this, but the East is kind of stacked. It kind of is. Because now that Russell Westbrook is on the Wizards, I think that the Wizards could make a run. Now, honestly, I would not be surprised if the Wizards don't make the playoffs. But at the same time, if Russell Westbrook's on that team, you're making the playoffs. So, I mean, I think that they helped balance the East a lot more. I would not be surprised if the Pacers themselves don't make the playoffs. And I mean, they have Oladipo, they have Sabonis, they have Turner, they have T.J. Warren, who if T.J. Warren's playing like he was in the bubble, then it's game over, right? So they could make the playoffs. Philadelphia's restacked, you know. And if they get James Harden, are you kidding me? Right? Milwaukee, you have Toronto. Toronto might not even make it, but their roster is still pretty solid. Like, really solid. Like, there's just not going to be a lot of openings in the East. I mean, you have Boston, too. And so, they're just going to have to figure that out. I don't think the Magic are going to make the playoffs this year. And then you have Brooklyn now. You know? So, it's just a bunch of crazy stuff. Chicago is looking decent. They're looking... I think I'd rate the Hornets above the Bulls. I'll be honest. I would. Just because of young guys in depth. And I don't know how Billy Donovan's going to work out in Chicago. But, anyways... That's all for today. Today was just me just talking about random stuff before the preseason. All in all, I'm really excited to just watch basketball in general, and I know you guys are too. So stay tuned. I'm going to be talking about the, probably the Clippers more often, but I'm going to probably be talking about the Celtics soon. And just be on the lookout for that video, and thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you later. Peace.